Hey guys, it's Miss Walker. Happy Tuesday. I hope you all had a great weekend and are ready to get back. I know I am ready to get back. Fingers crossed I will be back tomorrow. That is what I know so far. So, hopefully, I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right, let's go over our assignment for today. I was hoping that I was there for you today for this assignment, but I think y'all will be okay. And just as for for what you should know for this week's assignments, when I do come back, we will make sure that you're caught up on everything. Okay, I know that triangular prisms are hard to do. Cylinders and rectangular prisms are probably those are the two easiest. So if you've had problems with triangular prisms, I get it. Okay, I know it's not easy to learn triangular prisms virtually. So I'm anxious about getting back and helping y'all with the triangular prisms. So don't stress about that. Today's worksheet, you have plenty of cylinders and rectangular prisms. So if you want to skip the triangular prisms, if that makes your life easier, please do that. All right, the first thing I want you to look at is how the formulas look, because this is just a screenshot directly from your formula chart. And so what I want you to kind of break down is, what does each part mean? We've talked about this with the model, right? The Pringles can. I always go back to that Pringles can. We've talked about it there. We've talked about it as we've written out formulas, but we haven't just sat and compared these formulas all together. I want you to write what you know about perimeter of the base times height. Now, obviously, the perimeter of a circular base would be this 2 pi r. So this would be the P for a cylinder times height. And then we're adding two bases here, and we're adding two bases here. This is the base of this is the area of a circle. Okay. So pause the video. I want you to write why they're written that way. What do the formulas mean? What does each part mean? What's the differences between lateral and total in the formulas? Write whatever you can about that. All right, so when you're done writing, you can go ahead and move on to this next part. This is solving for the lateral surface area of a triangular prism. I think that breaking this down this way might help you when you're working with triangular prisms. I talked the other day about why there's so many misconceptions and mistakes done on a triangular prism, because there's a base of the base and a base of the prism. There's also a height of the base and a height of the prism, and those all get thrown in. And if you don't know exactly what each piece of the formula means, you will get lost. Okay. So my expression using formulas. So to find lateral surface area, my expression would be, or my equation would be, surface area equals perimeter of the base times height. Now, if I'm using words, I am doing perimeter of base times height of prism, which is different than height of the base. So let's plug in what we know. Perimeter of the base, this triangle is my base. So the way I find perimeter of a shape is I add up all the sides of it. So 11 plus 11 is 22, plus 9 would be 31, times, and I want to show you something here. If this is my base, the height of the prism, remember, is that distance between the two bases. So think of the Pringles can. I have my two bases. The height of the prism is the distance that connects those bases together. So this is the height of my prism, is right here, 11. And I'm just going to color it a different color so we can know that we're working with that times 11. So my solution, I'm just going to come over here to my handy dandy calculator. 31 times 11 is 341. And so remember, that's the lateral surface area. That's what would be these gray rectangles around the prism. Okay, so now we're going to solve for total surface area. Same kind of thing. I do want to remember my lateral is 341. So I'm actually going to go ahead and write that down. But using formulas, I have perimeter of the base times height plus 2 times the area of the base. So using words, I'm just going to say lateral, since we already kind of talked about this piece, plus 2 times area of base. Okay, so we have our lateral already, plus 2 times. This is where you have to either look back at your formula chart or make sure you're using the correct formula. Area of the base. The base is this triangle, okay? And the way we find the area of a triangle is 1/2 times base times height, okay? So 1/2 of 9 times 10. 9 times 10 is 90. And we want half of that, so 45. So the area of this triangle right here is 45. And so if you're wondering where this 2 comes from, it's because we have 2 bases. We don't just have this base that we see that has the numbers on it. We actually have this other base over here. So we want 2 of those. Okay. So my solution, when I come in here, it's going to be, let's see, 2 times 45 is 90 plus 341. That's going to be 431 is going to be your total surface area. All right, now, since we just did a triangular prism problem, I want you to try this one, number 1, on your own. Use that last problem to help you, okay? The formulas are exactly the same. You're just plugging in the different values. So you can pause the video now, solve number 1. When you're done solving number 1, come back and we're going to do number 2. Okay, I actually paused also and solved. So I have your answers here. Once you're done solving this whole process, and you have to show your work for credit, you can't just show answers, see if you got these same answers. If you did, then bravo, you did it correctly. If you didn't, see where you can make adjustments to get to these answers. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and solve number 2 and 3 together. Then you're going to be on your own for the rest of this worksheet. So for number 2, we have, now let me zoom in. I just learned how to do that the other day when I did that last video. It's a little too much. Okay, that's a little better. So I'm going to go ahead. I like to use this text tool just because my handwriting on here is not the best. We're going to do lateral and we're going to do total. I'm actually going to copy and paste this again because we're going to use it right here too. All right, we're going to draw a line. So our lateral is S equals capital PH, total S equals capital PH plus 2 capital B. So again, one of the things that we have to do first is determine what base are we going to use. We have talked before about using the rectangle that is the most shaded in is the base. So in this case, it would be this one. So to find perimeter of this rectangle, it would be 11.4. I'm going to pull out my calculator here while we are doing this. So we have 11.4 plus, it looks like this length is going to be 8.3. So plus 8 point. Plus 8.3. And then we're going to just add it again. No, hold on. Why is this 8 here? 11.4 plus 8.3. That's your perimeter around that base. Now, if we're going to multiply that by the height, it would be this length here, the length that is connecting the bases. So times 11.4. Now, I want you to see how I did all of that in my calculator. I didn't write anything down. The least amount of things that I need you to write down in order to grade this correctly is going to be this. So all you have to do is come over here and write down 39.4 times 11.4, and my answer is 449.16. So you at least need to show me, what did you get for perimeter of the base? What did you get for the height? All right, we're going to come over here, plug this in. Now, I had somebody tell me on Thursday my video was super long. I know it is. You're just going to have to fight through it, pause it, work on your stuff, come back if you need to. You don't have to rewatch the whole thing again. If you get through it and you're like, wait, I need help on number 2, like it's a YouTube video, go back to number 2, you're good as gold. Okay, don't watch the whole thing again. That's like torture. It'd be like going to 2 classes with me. Okay, now we have perimeter base times height. We have our plus. We have our 2. Now we're going to multiply that by the area of the base. So the area of this base would be 11.4 times 8.3. So 94.62. My handwriting is terrible on this thing. So I'm just working backwards because that's order of operations. This times 2 will give me my 2 bases over here. Sorry, you can't see my finger. Over here. Plus my lateral. $638.4. And I'm kind of running out of room. I am just going to, let me get a little text box here. All right, so that's the answer down here. All right, there we have it. I'm actually going to clear this out. So at any time, if you need to come back and pause it right here, feel free to do that. It hasn't gone anywhere. I'm just erasing it from the screen right now. All right, let's go ahead and solve our cylinder. Then we are done for the day with your videos. I really miss y'all. I'm tired of being at home. So we're hoping that my second test comes back negative and that I can grace you with my presence tomorrow. I am feeling better though. So thank you to everybody that reached out and messaged me and said, I hope you feel better. Like, that just makes me feel so good. All right, don't make me cry. Okay, here we go. Okay, now I'm going to show you something. This is a little trick, kind of. I wrote the formulas down. Okay. I accidentally wrote the formula for triangular and rectangular. Okay. But I want to show you how they relate to cylinder. Now, I actually did make a mistake because I was too busy talking. But perimeter of a circle is just the circumference, which is 2 pi r. Okay. Times the height. Okay, and then over here, let me just copy and paste that because it's the same over here. 2 pi r times height plus 2 times area of a circle is pi r squared. Pi times r times r, since I don't have a squared thing in here. Okay, so just want you to see how it is really the same formula. It's just that circles have different formulas than rectangles and triangles. Okay, if that little part right there that I just did confuses you, then just ignore it. We're moving on. Okay, so 2 pi, those just go in the calculator like normal. So if you're looking at my calculator over here, 2 times, there's my blue pi right there, so blue pi times my radius, this is already a radius, times my height. Okay, that's easy enough. So I get about 203.51. Okay, just like before, that is the same as this. Plus 2 times pi times 4.1 squared. So plus 2 times pi and we get 309.13. All right, and we're good to go because I know that because this is smaller than this. That's one way to check it, right? Same thing here. Lateral is smaller than total. Lateral is smaller than total. Always going to be true. All right, guys, so that's all that I'm going to go over today. You need to do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That looks like that's all. Again, skip over anything if you need to, and we will revisit it as a class when I am back. I hope to see you tomorrow. I miss you all so much. I love you. Bye.